Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 26th of February, starting with the DAX on the 15-minute chart here. So like the S&P 500 and other markets around the world, we're counting from the top here, we're counting 5 waves down. So we've got 1 and 2 here, a long third wave here, fourth wave, and we're coming down for the 5th wave now. So in the 5th wave here, we're looking for 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then down for 5 here. Now, in terms of trading, if you've been short from these areas up here, we've had a short trade here, and half of positions in here, taking percentage profit at 13,500 as well, then we can bring the stop down to this little high here, just in here. So I'm expecting this to have a little wave 4 correction and then a wave 5 down. So taking profit at 12,500 area here is the game, or you can also just trail your stop down. Once wave 4 comes into play, pull your stop down on top of that, and then just keep pulling your stop down. But there will be a bounce at the 500 area here. So if you've got patience, then you can observe that bounce, and if you can note it being corrective with overlapping wave structures, then we can move further down from that point. Now, the other point here, like the S&P 500, the current move down through here, once that's been completed, then we can look for an ABC rally coming back into the 50-60% area here. So we could look at it something like this here, and then we're going to see the market move down again through that point there. This structure here is going to be a 5 wave, 3 waves and 5 wave structure here. It may not come this high here, it may just sort of stick around the 13,000 area here, or the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. We'll need to note that, but we'll be looking for 5 waves in the first leg, 3 in the next, and then 5 in the next here as well. Now, in the bigger picture here, we can look at this in a couple of different ways. So I'm just going to go to the monthly chart, I think. So one of the situations here is that maybe I'll just go to the weekly first and we'll come back to this, or maybe even the daily, but let's just go to the weekly here first. Okay, so we could start here. So we were doing all the right things in terms of looking at this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here for wave 4, and then looking for wave 1 and 2, which came in nicely, and then we've started to build up through here. Now this count could still be correct, except that we were looking at it being wave 3, but I was always concerned with it being wave 3 because it never really had, yes, it ended up being a bit longer than wave 1 here, but it never really had its it was never a powerful third wave that should have taken us up to the 15,000. So we've ended up really here with 3 waves up here. So what we can do here, we could either look at this as an A and a B and a C here for the A wave here, and then 3 waves up for the B wave there, and then the C wave over here as wave 4. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at this here, or back here as this here, but instead of having wave 3 up here, it's possible to have wave 1, so we can look at this as 5 waves up here for wave 1, an A and a B and a C back for wave 2 here. So we could toy with this situation here because it's going to play out like that. We're going to have 5 waves down, 3 waves back up and 5 waves down. So if that sits there, then that's a possibility here, and certainly if it finds support back on 13,000 here, then we can seriously look at this being up for 1 and back for 2. But if it breaches this area through here and comes down further, then obviously we need to negate that, and then we need to look at this here as well. One possibility is looking at this as like I mentioned, as wave 4 over here, and that will take us back to this monthly chart here. So in this case here, we can look at this in terms of wave 4 here, wave 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the third wave, ABC for the A wave here, up for the B wave here in 3 waves, and then that would leave us with 5 waves to the downside here, and then up from that point. So that's the possibility. But the only thing that's wrong with this particular count here is that, I mean, this looks nice here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, whatever, but and a wave 2 coming back here, that looks fine. But on the S&P 500, this is wave 4 over here, and on the S&P 500, this here breaches this low down through here. So we've got this as wave 4 on the S&P 500. So, you know, if that is the case there, then this puts this in a much more bearish situation, and can even come down further than that. We just need to take one step at a time, though, to gather the evidence of what's going to occur here. But the most important thing here is that from the top here, we're counting 5 waves down in all of the markets, and then we're going to be looking at 3 waves back up, and then we can short from that point. So on the S&P, we're also got this, you can just watch the S&P video though. This is the alternative count for the S&P 500, because also we were looking for a third wave up here, but this is, and looking for this to pull back to the 38.2% retracement level, which is about here, but it's also moved through as well. It doesn't mean that this count is right. It's just a possibility, especially if this drops back down into the 3000 area here, and that would leave wave 3 over here with an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, and that's pretty much in line with this situation coming down here, because we'll be looking for 5 waves down here. And also too, if we look at this move up through here, where this gets validated, this is 5 waves up here. So once this move comes through here, and that's a clear breach there, then we've got overlapping wave structures. So then it can't be wave 1, 2, and 3 up here. It could still be wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, but that would be the end of it at that particular point there. Let's have a look at the FTSE as well in the bigger picture. Now, with the FTSE here, we've got wave 3 here, and an A wave and a B wave and a C wave. Now that would be in line with the US markets here. I don't think it's quite breached this low here, but on the S&P 500 it has. So this would be the correct count here. And in this case here, we can see we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the 5th wave here. So in this case, we can have a top in play here already. So in a bearish picture, then this would just come straight back down into this space down here. So that's pretty serious, obviously, because we've got 5 waves there. But look, if we've got wave 3, 4, and 5 here, then it will come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which would be, which get my things working, which would be down, you know, in this level here. The other choice for this, though, if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, we could have it up as wave 1 here, and then back for wave 2 here. So looking for an A wave, a B wave, and then 5 waves down here for wave 2, and then up from that point. But either way, it still looks kind of bearish, and I mean, this has been bearish. Don't forget the DAX made a new high here, above this high here. And the S&P has, and so on, but this market hasn't. So this is the weakest one of all of them. So in this case here, we could go to the weekly chart here and look at this like this here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Yeah, I'm aware that this overlaps over here as well. Wave 4 overlaps wave 1. I'm fully aware of that. But in this case here, you know, we could always count an impulse wave down through here on this. This is an impulse wave, but this is, then it goes corrective from this point. So And, you know, if we looked at this low here and this high here, this is the 61.8% mark here, and this market is actually moving through that here at the moment. It's not a big deal, but if it continues to move lower, then we can expect it to go lower as well here. So I just really wanted to point out some of these bigger bearish pictures that can be in play here at the moment. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that for today. Cheers.